Yep. And good evening, Washington County. I want to say again, thank you all to our citizens of Washington County. We made it through elections. Want to say congratulations to all our JPs who are returning. We'll welcome new JPs in January, and we'll be saying farewell and doing some recognition of our JPs who will be leaving us in December. But again, I want to thank the citizens of Washington County getting out there and serving and voting in our elections a couple of weeks ago. With that, JP Washington, would you lead us in prayer and pledge?
Yes, let us bow our heads for prayer. Heavenly Father, we come tonight asking your blessings as we conduct county business. We thank you for keeping all members of the Quorum Court and our families safe and healthy. Lord, we ask for wisdom and guidance for the matters at hand. Your word promises us that when we ask for wisdom, that you will give it to us generously, without blame or without rebuke. We thank you, God, that tonight we will conduct our business with a spirit of excellence, a spirit of love, a spirit of peace, a spirit of unity. We ask this in the name of Jesus. Amen. Let us stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are you okay?
Thank you, JP Washington. With that, the Quorum Court is now called to order. We will have Ms. Patty do the roll call to see who's all here tonight. Ms. Patty, will you take the roll?
Susan Cunningham.
Here.
Patrick Deakins.
Here.
Sam Duncan.
Here.
Lisa Ecke.
Here.
Ann Harbison.
Here.
Suki Hires. I see she's here. Andrea Jenkins.
here.
Lance Johnson.
Here.
Willie Lemming.
Present.
Eva Madison.
Here.
Sue Madison.
Here.
Butch Pond.
Here.
Derek Thomas.
Here.
Chandra Washington.
Here.
Judith Yanez.
Here.
We have a quorum, Judge.
Thank you, Ms. Patty. Item 3, we'll go ahead to the adoption of the agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda?
Patrick Deakins has
Adoption of the agenda.
JP Deakins,
I would like to move that we strike item number 14 from the agenda. That's the CUP for the Blue Springs RV Park. The neighbors have filed an appeal to that decision, so we will hear that in December.
we have a motion to remove item 14, which is the conditional use permit for the Blue Springs RV Park. Is there a second?
Second.
Yeah. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? That was JP Ecke?
yes.
Yes.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Those opposed? All right, so that will be removed, item 14. Are there any other changes to the agenda? Do I have a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
I move that we adopt the agenda as amended.
Second.
We have a motion, was that JP Harbison?
Yeah, motion by Harbison.
And seconded by JP Lemming. All in favor?
Duncan.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, the agenda is approved. Preliminary motions, are there any preliminary motions?
Ordinance read by title. I move that the
JP Sue
ordinances tonight be
Madison.
read by title only.
JP Sue Madison is recognized.
I move
She's
that-
asked that we read by title only. Is there a second? A second by JP Lemming. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, our preliminary motions is passed. We'll read by ordinances as well as by title only. Citizen comments. At this time, item 5, citizen comments. We will have citizens come and share with us. We have allotted 15 minutes for citizens to share. Each will be limited to 3 minutes. We ask when you come, please state your name and where you live. And with that, we'll go ahead and open it up to citizen comments.
Sarah Moore has her hand raised.
Miss Sarah Moore.
Hi, Sarah Moore, Fayetteville. Can you hear me okay?
Absolutely.
Hi. I appreciate all the efforts across the county in response to COVID. And with the latest projections from EIMS showing that we are not going to peak now until March of 21, and our area being a hot spot, I would really like to have the county consider a few things. One, I really would like to see if there's a way that we can have a scorecard that's forward facing, similar to the university, with the number of COVID positive individuals on county staff, as well as detainees at the jail and jail staff. I think that's a really important number that we see sporadic updates, but we don't see anything on a regular basis. I also would like for consideration there to be a regularly scheduled update on COVID and our COVID response in the county. And I don't know if that's maybe twice a month, but definitely when we have an outbreak of COVID, I would really like there to be a formal press release and a press conference so that we can have an update, because I don't know if anyone has seen it, but there was a status update of the ICU beds across the state, and there are only 81 currently available. I have a child that has respiratory airway disease, and I'm incredibly concerned if she gets this virus that she could be hospitalized and intubated. And we're concerned about ICU beds that would be needed for other things like heart attacks and things. I know that there's currently an additional outbreak that's happened within the jail, and I would really ask that we have some written policies and procedures in place for how we do intake at the jail and how we're doing quarantine, so that we can assure that there is not such an outbreak that we've seen in Benton County that potentially would need hospitalization that could overwhelm our healthcare system. I appreciate your consideration of this and other measures, and that we're taking this incredibly seriously to protect the health of all citizens. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Moore. Citizen comments.
David Freeman.
Mr. David Freeman, you're recognized.
Hi, I'm David Freeman. I'm from Fayetteville. Thank you for hearing me tonight. I wanted to make a comment regarding item 18 tonight, which is the Homeland Security Grants Revenue item of the DIM Grant Fund for 2020. During the last Finance and Budget Committee meeting, it was said that there is conversation about John Luther's team and his hardworking staff, and I don't doubt that he has a hardworking staff. And when it comes to handling these DIM funds, I just want to address the implication that these DIM funds would be used to purchase the sort of equipment that would be rescuing people who have been injured while hiking or falling out of their boats or that sort of thing. The reality of this over $1 million grant is that over half of it is appropriated towards WMD and SWAT. To break it down, that's over $268 million to weapons of mass destruction response and over $556,000 to special weapons and tactics. We need to be clear that this money would be a further investment in a violent defense infrastructure that does nothing to address the root issues that spur violence in our region. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman. Citizen comments. Citizen comments. All right, with that, we'll go ahead and then move on to item 6, approval of the minutes. The October minutes were emailed out and should have been in your agenda packets. Are there any corrections to the minutes? If there are no corrections, then the minutes are approved. We'll go ahead to item 7, the judge's report. You should have a disposal counter property report in your packet. I did want to share on October 5th, I sent a letter to the court to address some concerns and questions raised regarding the operation of our county dirt mine in Winslow. And since that time, I received several additional questions that I will address tonight. As you know, all ordinances are passed by this court and are filed with the county clerk and are available for anyone to view. Additionally, all contracts executed by the county are filed with the county clerk's office and can be again viewed by members of this court and the public. The ordinance that was passed to allow the county to enter into this contract to extract dirt on this property is ordinance number 2016-31. The two contracts the county has with this property owner are 2016-93 and 2017-85. 2016-93 and 2017-85. The initial purpose of the dirt mine in Winslow was to save the county money for dirt to be used in maintaining county roads. The county at the time has estimated that it would extract approximately 5,000 cubic yards of dirt a year. In 2016, the county hired Garver engineers to prepare a plan to extract that dirt from the entire 80 acres of property. The plan was to mine the property in 5 phases. Upon the completion of those plans, a stormwater pollution protection permit, which we call SWIFT, was applied for with the Arkansas Department of Environmental Quality, or ADEQ. The SWIFT that was issued allows the county to mine 3.2 acres and require the county to mitigate the disturbance of stream water running through that property. In 2017, the construction began on that haul road that would allow trucks and equipment to enter the property to extract and transport that dirt. The haul road was completed in 2018, and then the county began to mine those operations. In 2019, the county was informed by ADEQ that the sediment levels being released into the stream from the mining site was too high. We, in an attempt to mitigate this issue, we installed a flow meter to continually monitor the sediment levels. However, the sediment levels continue to be high, and ADEQ, toward the end of last year, issued a corrective action plan to Washington County to begin to remedy that problem. Upon review of the plan, the county realized that a berm that was included in the original plan submitted by Garver had not been installed. This allowed all the storm water around 33 acres to drain directly into the mining site. The retention pond designed for this site was to detain water for the 3.2 acres only. Because of this problem with the outflow and the absence of the berm, the county decided to construct a dam that would retain all the water for the life of the mine. Unfortunately, the county did so without acquiring the proper SWIFT before the construction. And again, that was our error. I shared that was our mistake. We built the dam prior to getting the permit, building the dam for the entire life of the mine. The existence of this dam is only necessary for the life of the mining operation. Upon expiration of the mining operation, approximately 40 years, a decision will be made regarding the status of that dam, either by ADEQ or by the property owners. At this time, the county is working with Garver and ADEQ to remedy the compliance problems with the construction of that dam and the sediment that is flowing at this time. At this time, again, the county does not have an estimated cost for the remediation, as the remediation plans have not yet been completed or approved by the various agencies reviewing those proposals. Furthermore, the county has not been fined for any of our mistakes to this date. We do not know if the county will be fined at some point in the future or fined at all. Any possible estimate or amount that we could come up with would just be speculative. In 2017, the county spent approximately $21,000 to begin construction of this haul road. In 2018, the county spent $64,000, $21,000 to complete the haul road and $35,000 for the operation. And that was in 2018. In 2019, we spent again $35,000 for the operation at that mine. In 2020, the county anticipates approximately spending $59,000 for the operation and $98,000 for the construction of the dam. The county anticipates that the operational costs in 2021 will be again about $35,000. Again, as I mentioned, the county anticipates removal of about 5,000 cubic yards of dirt each year from that county for the county road maintenance that we will do out in that area. The county pays about $4 per load, which is about 16 yards. For Wallen Mountain, which was a major project that we had, the county, we extracted 26,000 cubic yards of dirt that was transported by APAC. The cost to the county for that dirt was approximately $24,000. The estimated cost of that dirt from another pit, if we did not have that, would have been more like $221,000. My office has investigated the allegations that have been circulated by the JPs. I acknowledge that the county constructed the dam at the mining area without approval by ADQ first. Again, that was our error. The county is currently working to remedy this error and working with ADQ. There has not been any findings or credible evidence of a county employee receiving any illegal benefit from this pit, nor has any county employee been terminated from the road department for speaking out about the pit. No county employee has reached out to me or my office to express a concern about any illegal activity. We have one of the best road crews in the state of Arkansas. No, we are not perfect, but we have raised expectations in the county and we're delivering better road services across the county than we ever have. We will continue to do that. That will be my expectation going forward. With that, we'll go ahead and go to item 8, unfinished business. Council, will you go ahead and read item 8 by title only?
Item 8 is an ordinance appropriating $6,557.87 in the Quorum Court budget for 2020.
JP Harbison.
I move that we approve this. This is to improve the sound system in the Quorum courtroom, and it's needed. I move.
Hand raised.
All right, this is on its third and final reading. JP Harbison's got a motion to approve. Who was that?
JP Madison.
JP, which one?
Eva Madison.
JP Eva Madison.
Judge, I've had my hand raised quite a while. I think at some point you need to open it up to comments and questions from the Quorum Court, because I have a lot of questions about the Winslow dirt pit that I did not submit in private, and they should be answered in public. And I had my hand raised to answer those questions and I was not recognized. So at some point in this meeting, you need to allow JPs to publicly ask questions and publicly get answers. There are a lot of questions still, and your information tonight did nothing to address all the questions that are out there. So you tell me when I can talk. I know this is JP Harbison's motion right now, and I'm out of order technically, but we need to be given a chance to speak publicly on this issue.
Thank you, JP Madison. We got a motion on the floor for JP Harbison's.
JP Sue Madison has her hand raised.
JP Sue Madison. Is that a
Thank you, Mr.
second?
Judge.
Go ahead.
No, I want to ask a question.
No.
JP,
First, I'd like to say I agree with JP Madison. I believe that members of this court should be
Point of order.
allowed to ask
Point
questions.
of order. You've got a point
Regarding
of
this
order.
got a point of order.
JP Madison, there's a point of order.
What's the point of order, JP? Who is that?
Eki.
JP Eki, what's the point of order?
Point of order, that is not on the agenda. We have a motion on the floor to approve item number 8 on the agenda, and it was seconded by JP Deacon. And the discussion should be on item number 8, not on the Winslow dirt pit, for the Winslow dirt pit is not on the agenda. Thank you.
All right, we have a motion and a
It
second.
was covered in the judge's report. I want to make a comment about this
JP
proposed order.
Madison, you're not recognized. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? JP Yanez and then JP Sue Madison.
So I want to apologize to the members of the court for voting no on this previously. I didn't realize that this would aid on the inclusion of some of our JPs to be able to hear in meetings. So my only question is this something that's going to be used beyond COVID times?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
JP Sue Madison.
Thank you, Mr. Judge. I believe the comments presented to us are this equipment is necessary because of the court meeting in two different modes right now. And it is against the advice of all kinds of health department officials at the national as well as local levels that no meetings be occurring in person right now. There's no reason why we can't all be meeting by Zoom like we are. So therefore, this expenditure is premature and unnecessary, and I'll be voting against it.
Thank you, JP Madison. Any other discussion? Any other discussion? Public comments? Any public comments? Nope. All right, with that, Ms. Patty, will you go ahead and take the roll?
Ann Harbison,
Yes.
Butch Pond,
Yes.
Lance Johnson,
Yes.
Susan Cunningham,
Yes.
Derek Thomas,
Yes.
Judith Yanez,
Yes.
Patrick Deakins,
Yes.
Lisa Ecke,
Yes.
Sam Duncan,
Yes.
Chandra Washington,
No.
Eva Madison,
No.
Andrea Jenkins,
No.
Suki Hires,
No.
Sue Madison. Sue Madison,
Sorry, I was muted. No.
and Willie Lemming.
Yes.
I have 10 votes for and 5 against.
All right, thank you, Ms. Patty. That motion passes. Item 9, Council, will you read that one by title only?
An ordinance ratifying a conditional use permit recommended for approval by the Planning and Zoning Board for the 62 Motor City.
JP Lemming?
I want this to hold up just a little bit because basically they're just building a salvage yard, and if they would get their privacy fence put up around their salvage cars, we could pass it and go on, but I really recommend to wait. Table it. Let's just table it. Let's just table it.
Well, if there's no motion, it moves to the third reading next month anyway. So if you're not making a motion, then it'll just go on to the third reading next month.
Thank you. That's what we need to do.
All right. So that one moves on to third reading next month in December. Item 10, Council, will you read that one by title only?
An ordinance changing the title of juvenile caseworker to juvenile detention officer in the Juvenile Detention Center budget for 2020.
JP Pond.
Yes, I believe we have someone here to speak on this ordinance. I'd move to pass it for sake of discussion.
Second reading.
It's only on the second reading, so if there's not a second, they'll go to its third reading in December, unless, was that, I'm not hearing it.
Second.
There was a second.
Move to suspend the rules and go to a second reading.
Third reading.
Third, it's on the
Third
second
reading.
now.
Okay. Move to suspend the rules and do a third reading.
Second.
So there's a motion to suspend the rules and move to a third and final reading, a second by
Becky.
JP Ecke. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
No.
All right,
No.
Council, will you read that one by title only?
An ordinance changing the title of juvenile caseworker to juvenile detention officer in the Juvenile Detention Center budget for 2020.
JP Pine?
Point of order, I think, point of order.
JP Madison, you recognize? What's the point of order?
There was no ruling on the vote I mean, you need a supermajority to suspend the rules.
I had it.
All right, so Ms. Patty, will you do a roll call?
This is on the motion to suspend the rules.
That's right.
Ann Harbison,
Yes.
Butch Pond,
Yes.
Lance Johnson,
Yes.
Susan Cunningham,
Yes.
Derek Thomas,
Yes.
Judith Yanez,
No.
Patrick Deakins,
Yes.
Lisa Ecke,
Yes.
Sam Duncan,
Yes.
Chandra Washington,
No.
Eva Madison,
No.
Andrea Jenkins,
No.
Suki Hires,
No.
Sue Madison,
No.
Willie Lemming.
Yes.
I have 9, 4, and 6 against.
Move on to the third next meeting.
9, what was that, 9-4? Okay, so then that one does not pass. It moves on to the third and final reading in December. Item 11. Council, will you read that one by title only?
An ordinance changing the title of janitorial person to janitorial trainee / floor technician in the buildings and ground budget for 2020.
JP Pine, it's on his, again, no motion. It goes to his third and final reading in December.
I'd move to suspend the rules, move it to the third and final reading.
Second.
There's a motion to suspend the rules and move to his third and final reading by JP Pine, second by
Duncan.
JP Duncan. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
No.
No.
Ms. Patty, will you take the roll?
Ann Harbison,
Yes.
Butch Pond,
Yes.
Lance Johnson,
Yes.
Susan Cunningham,
Yes.
Derek Thomas,
Yes.
Judith Yanez,
No.
Patrick Deakins,
Yes.
Lisa Ecke,
Yes.
Sam Duncan,
Yes.
Chandra Washington,
No.
Eva Madison,
No.
Andrea Jenkins,
No.
Suki Hires,
No.
Sue Madison,
No.
Willie Lemming.
No.
That'll move on to
8, 4, and 7 against.
All right, that will move to December, third and final. Item 12, council, will you read that one by title only?
An ordinance setting controls for the 2021 budget.
JP Duncan.
Second reading.
Move to take the third reading.
So you just move it to next month? No motion then? No motion is necessary. What was your, JP Duncan, what was your motion?
So let's just let it ride. No motion.
Okay, no motion. Item 13 then, that will just move on to December. Item 13. Council, will you read that one by title only?
An ordinance appropriating $1,308,438 from unappropriated reserves and various funds to the various budgets to compensate for the 27th pay period for county employees.
JP Harbison.
I move that we pass this, and I think it's the fair thing to do. I know that we'll have a motion to split it, but this is a situation that has occurred because of growth in the county. We only have 4 large counties in the state, and all the small counties do this, and there's not a problem. I see why some of you think that our contract employees are overpaid, but they work overtime that they don't get paid for, and this just kind of gives them a compensation for the extra work that they put in. I move to pass this.
Second.
JP Harbison, this is only on its second reading. It will go to the third and final next month unless you suspend the rule.
Well, I'm gonna go on and ask to suspend the rules, for the final third reading.
Second.
We have a motion by JP Harbison to suspend the rules and move to its third and final reading. A second by,
Becky.
by who?
Becky.
Ms. JP Ecke. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
Have a hand by JP Eva Madison.
No.
All right, Ms. Patty? You take the roll?
Judge, may I ask a question? The audio is cutting in and out tonight, and I wasn't exactly sure what we were voting on.
This is on the suspending the rules on item 13.
Okay, so it's the pay period issue. Okay, well,
That's correct.
I don't know what's going on, but I'm hearing from citizens, and then on our end, the audio is just going in and out. It's really hard to hear. So if y'all could slow down talking a little bit, I think it might help. If you would.
All right. JP, Ms. Patty, will you take the roll?
Ann Harbison,
Yes.
Butch Pond,
Yes.
Lance Johnson,
No.
Susan Cunningham,
No.
Derek Thomas,
Yes.
Judith Yanez,
No.
Patrick Dickens,
No.
Lisa Ecke,
Yes.
Sam Duncan,
No.
Chandra Washington,
Yes.
Eva Madison,
Yes.
Andrea Jenkins,
Yes.
Suki Hires,
Yes.
Sue Madison,
No.
Willie Lemming.
No.
I have 8 for, and 7 against.
All right, that will move to December's meeting for the third and final. Item 14.
Was removed.
Item 14 was removed. Item 15. Council, would you read item 15 by title only? Mo?
Item 15 is an ordinance ratifying a conditional use permit recommended for approval by the Planning and Zoning Board for Bobby Russell Residential.
That's item 15. JP Lemming, item 15.
Well, we need to pass it. I mean, where it's at, I don't understand why he's having to even get a CUP. It's all farmland residential, and I don't understand it, but where it's at, it's all around his land's all around it, and I moved that we pass it.
We have a motion to pass the CUP.
It's on its first reading.
It's on its first reading, so this is the first read. We have a motion to pass.
I'll
Is there a
suspend the
second?
rules and go to second meeting, second.
We have a motion to suspend the rules and go to the second reading.
Second.
We have a second by JP Duncan. All in favor? Those opposed? All right, we'll go ahead. Council, will you read that for a second time?
An ordinance ratifying a conditional use permit recommended for approval by the Planning and Zoning Board for Bobby Russell Residential.
Move to suspend the rules and go to a third and final reading.
Second.
We have a motion to suspend the rules by
Okay.
JP Pond for third and final, second by JP Lemming. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
Aye.
Those opposed? Ms. Patty, will you do a roll? Make sure I got that.
No, I think JP Madison I think she froze up. I think she was voting in favor of moving it to a third and final reading.
One more time, all in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.
Those opposed? Okay. Okay, Council, will you read that for a third and final time?
An ordinance ratifying a conditional use permit recommended for approval by the Planning and Zoning Board for Bobby Russell Residential.
Any other discussion? Move to pass. Is there any discussion?
Second.
Second by JP
Harbison.
Harbison. Any discussion?
Public comment.
Let's go to public comments. Any public comments? Any public comments? All right, Ms. Patty, will you take the roll? This is
Ann
on the
Har-
passing of that ordinance.
Ann Harbison,
Yes.
Butch Pond,
Yes.
Lance Johnson,
Yes.
Susan Cunningham,
Yes.
Derek Thomas,
Yes.
Judith Yanez,
Yes.
Patrick Deacons,
Yes.
Lisa Ecke,
Yes.
Sam Duncan,
Yes.
Chandra Washington,
Yes.
Eva Madison,
Yes.
Andrea Jenkins,
Yes.
Suki Hires,
Yes.
Sue Madison,
Yes.
Willie Lemming.
Yes.
This ordinance passes.
All right, item 15 passes. Thank you, Ms. Patty. Item 16, Council, will you read that one by title only?
Yes. This is also on its first reading. This is an ordinance ratifying a conditional use permit recommended for approval by the Planning and Zoning Board for Ozarks Solar Park.
JP Lemming?
This is I've talked to the city of Lincoln, they're involved, the school is involved, and Washington County is involved, and this will not cost any of them anything. And this company will come in and set these solar panels up on 12 acres right there on Weddington Blacktop. It's kind of out of sight, out of mind to everybody. The man that owns all the land around it, well, there's two guys, and don't nobody have any problems with it. I move to pass it.
It's only on its first reading, so we, if you guys are looking to go ahead and suspend the rules and go to the second, but it's only on its first.
Move to suspend the rules to the second, and move the second reading.
All right, we have a motion by JP
Second.
Pine to suspend the rules and go to second reading, second by
Lemming.
JP Lemming and Madison. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, Council, reread that for a second time.
An ordinance ratifying a conditional use permit recommended for approval by the Planning and Zoning Board for Ozarks Solar Park.
Move to suspend the rules and go to a third and final reading.
We got a
Second.
motion,
Second.
we got a motion to suspend the rules and move to a third and final reading by JP Pond, seconded by JP Sue Madison. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, Council, last fine.
An ordinance ratifying a conditional use permit recommended for approval by the Planning and Zoning Board for Ozarks Solar Park.
All right, JP Lemming.
We're done with that. We need
Move to pass.
move to pass. I'm sorry.
Second.
We got a motion to move to pass by JP Lemming, a second by JP Pond. Any discussion? Any discussion? Citizen comments, public comments? Any public comments? Ms. Patty?
Ann Harbison,
Yes.
Butch Pond,
Yes.
Lance Johnson,
Yes.
Susan Cunningham,
Yes.
Derek Thomas,
Yes.
Judith Yanez,
Yes.
Patrick Deacons,
Yes.
Lisa Ecke,
Yes.
Sam Duncan,
Yes.
Chandra Washington, Chandra Washington.
No.
Eva Madison,
Yes.
Andrea Jenkins,
Yes.
Suki Hires,
Yes. Yes.
Sue Madison,
Yes.
Willie Lemming.
Well, let me think about it. Yes.
Have 14 for and 1 against, so this passes.
JP Washington has their hand.
Thank you, JP Lemming. JP Washington, you recognize.
Thank you. I don't know if this is in order or not. I had my hand raised before the vote, but I was reading that a neighbor has retained an attorney to help him and plans to appeal. So I didn't know how would that affect our vote here. And I wanted to ask that before we voted, but I mean, we voted now, so.
Well,
Go ahead, Tom.
anybody that wants to can appeal this. They have 30 days. The quorum court voting in favor of before that 30 days does nothing to stop the appeal. And so if an appeal is filed, then your vote will be set aside and you'll take up the appeal.
All right. Item 17. Item 17, yes, we'll be on. Council, will you read that one by title only?
An ordinance recognizing additional revenue of $35,227.80 in the DEM fund and appropriating $35,227.80 from the DEM fund to the DEM budget for 2020.
JP Harbison.
I move to pass this, and this is a grant, and our grant person looks for money, and when she finds money that fits a situation that we could use in the Department of Emergency Management, she applies for this money. And, and then it's up to the Department of Emergency Management how they're going to spend these grants. So I move passage of 17.
Second.
There's a motion to approve, pass the ordinance, and a second motion by JP Harbison, a second by JP Ecke. Any discussion?
JP Pond.
JP Pine?
Yes, Judge Wood, I do have a comment to make. I'd just like for people to just keep in mind that these grants are written specifically for the way this money is going to be spent. And we can't have our grants administrator drawing up a grant request and then receive this money and then spend it some other way. I mean, it's kind of like in government circles, when you do something like that, that's kind of like stealing, according to them. So maybe I'm making fun of them a little bit, but you can't take grant money that was granted to you for a specific purpose and use it some other way without getting in a heap of trouble. So, I just want to bring that up because so many times during public comment and maybe with some of the quorum court members, they think that they might see fit to spend it a different way. And I'd just like to make that point. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Any other discussion?
JP Eva Madison.
JP Eva Madison.
Thank you, Judge. So this is 17.1 and it's specifically for a hurricane, right?
That's correct. It's reimbursement.
Right?
That's right. That's correct.
I didn't think this one was at all controversial. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Thank you, Judge.
Any other discussion?
Judge?
JP
Didn't John's team and them go down to the hurricane and help out?
This is reimbursement for their support. Yes.
That's what I thought this was for.
Any other discussion? Public comments?
Sarah Moore.
Sarah Moore, Ms. Sarah Moore.
Hi, Sarah Moore, Fayetteville. I appreciate JP Pond framing up the parameters on grants. However, there's been a lot of research done by many members of the public, and there's probably JPs here that actually write grants. And I'm definitely not a grant expert, but what I can say is that, grants, and not talking even particularly to this one, but grants in general, that grants do have specific purposes, but the language within them can be incredibly broad. And I will tell you, grants that we as a county participate in oftentimes do get changed from their original intended purpose. We do have times where the county goes back, sometimes 8 and 10 times, and makes changes and gets approvals to spend the money differently. So there is flexibility within grants. You can't just go willy-nilly and do whatever you want. But I do think if we see that there's a need that is within the scope of a grant that arises in the time of doing our duties of recognizing there's a need in our community that we need to fulfill, that we should get creative and we should work within the parameters of that grant and reassess. And if there's an opportunity to save taxpayers money, please do that. Please go and ask for permission and shift those funds. This may not be the instance for that, but many times, like the Homeland Security Grant and some of these others we've done within the county, they can be changed. So I just want to make sure that we set the record straight on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Moore. Public comments.
Is this public comment?
This public comments.
Well,
Any other public comments?
I was wanting to say something, Judge.
One moment, JP Lemming. Any other public comments? Go ahead, JP Lemming.
Well, I like it when she says it saves taxpayers money. Well, where does she think that money comes from? Taxpayers put that money there to begin with. And there's a lot of grants that people on the outside of the county can file for, and they can fill out all kinds of grants too and get stuff for the community if they want to go that direction. But money ain't free. Money don't grow on trees. So, thank you.
Thank you, JP Lemming. Any other public comments? All right, with that, Ms. Patty, will you take the roll?
Ann Harbison,
Yes.
Butch Pond,
Yes.
Lance Johnson,
Yes.
Susan Cunningham,
Yes.
Derek Thomas,
Yes.
Judith Yanez,
Yes.
Patrick Dickens,
Yes.
Lisa Ecke,
Yes.
Sam Duncan,
Yes.
Chandra Washington,
Yes.
Eva Madison,
Yes.
Andrea Jenkins,
Yes.
Suki Hires,
Yes.
Sue Madison,
Yes.
Willie Lemming.
Yes.
This ordinance passes.
Item 17, ordinance passes. Thank you, Ms. Patty. Item 18, Council, will you read that one by title only?
An ordinance anticipating additional revenues of $1,129,349 in the DEM grant fund and appropriating the amount of $1,129,349 from the DEM grant fund to various Homeland Security budgets for 2020.
JP Harbison.
I move that we pass this, and I think we've had discussion on grant money, so I hope we move.
Second.
We have a motion by JP Harbison to pass, a second by JP Pond. Discussion.
JP Eva Madison.
JP Eva Madison, you recognize?
Judge. This is a lot of money, and the ordinance doesn't give us anything what the grant's going to be used for. And as Sarah Moore was commenting, these Homeland Security funds can be used for a number of purposes. And I think one of the ones that this court should be aware of is that this money could be used on the very radio systems and cell towers that we ask the taxpayers to impose a sales tax for. And so it strikes me that while, yes, getting a $1.1 million grant from the federal government is a great thing, I think we ought to be making sure that we're using that money and asking for it to be used for the best and highest use. And so I will ask again, what?
Can't hear you.
What was, you said you would ask what?
What is the $1.1 million going to? Anybody know?
That's itemized, at least when I'm looking at, it's itemized on that, on your 18.1.
Well, telling me that $128,000 is going to be spent on small equipment is not helpful. That's just the budget line item that legislative audit requires we use. What is it? What's it for? $128,000 of what kind of small equipment? I mean, I think if we're being asked to appropriate $1.1 million, somebody got to tell us what it's going to be used for. That's a lot of money. Nobody know?
Can't tell you any more than what I have out here that we passed out to you guys.
Small equipment.
Judge,
JP Lemming, you recognize?
That 128, there's pickups that's been bought in the USAR team. There is this money's pretty well already been allocated out. There is another small equipment over here that says $203,000 in a SWAT. That was a special ops truck that was built. The vehicles of $25,000 in the SWAT team, that was a part of that. And some of this was shared with the state of Arkansas also. I don't know exactly on all of it, and I wish John was here to answer our questions, but this money's already all been allocated and there's vehicles already been ordered, and this is just reimbursement to all the orders and everything, I'm pretty sure of. And the way this grant was wrote, this money cannot be done any different with. That's what I would.
JP, if there's no one else.
Any other discussion? All right, we'll go back to JP Eva Madison. You recognize?
So am I to understand that the county has spent this money before we've appropriated it? Or ordered things before money is appropriated? If that's happened, that's illegal. I mean, that makes it worse.
But that can't be the case because we applied for the grant, we're just not getting that, so that's not the case. Any other discussion?
I may have said it wrong.
All right, public comments?
Beth Koger.
Public comments?
Beth Koger.
Ms. Beth Koger?
Thank you very much. I just wanted to reply also about the comments that were made about the grants not being changed. I have submitted evidence that for the fiscal year 2018 Homeland Security Grant, there were 8 changes made. I did have the number for 19, but I can't find that right now. We have almost $900,000 left for 2018 and 2019. I think I said that last time. Also, I want to point out that the money for 2020 can definitely be used to pay for cell towers and communications equipment. And as I suggested before, if we did that, that would leave a cushion in the quarter-cent sales tax account, so that in the future, when we have to upgrade or change or repair or whatever, you won't be coming back to the taxpayers of Washington County asking for more money, because you could save money that money, whatever, for this grant to help pay for the cell towers and the communications equipment. Also, I'd like to point out that's on page B9 and on page 22, where the items are listed in the notice of funding. One more thing, when the county applied for this grant, there were categories where we could choose which items we wanted to apply for. And I think there were around 24, but just here are some that we could have applied for. County resilience, infrastructure systems, mass care services, economic recovery, health and social services, housing, natural and cultural resources. Instead, we chose the law enforcement and those services. So they can be used for other things. And one more thing, I would like for the parliamentarian to rule on whether or not the quorum court members should be speaking during public comment time. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Coger. Any other public comments? Any other public comment? Ms. Patty, go ahead and take the roll.
Ann Harbison,
Yes.
Butch Pond,
Yes.
Lance Johnson,
Yes.
Susan Cunningham,
Yes.
Derek Thomas,
Yes.
Judith Yanez,
No.
Patrick Deacons,
Yes.
Lisa Ecke,
Yes.
Sam Duncan,
Yes.
Chandra Washington.
No.
Eva Madison,
No.
Andrea Jenkins,
No.
Suki Hires,
No.
Sue Madison,
No.
Willie Lemming.
Yes.
On to the second reading at the next meeting.
I have 9 for and 6 against.
All right.
Hey,
That will move-
Judge, can I say one more thing?
That will move on to the next month's meeting for a second reading. Let's go ahead to item 19. Council, will you read that one by title only?
An ordinance creating Fund 1001 General Reserve in the Washington County budget for 2020.
JP Harbison.
Move that we pass this, we voted to put $4.5 million in this reserve fund. By doing this, we meet our $5 million in reserve for the coming year. I move that we pass this.
There's a motion to pass item 19. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by JP Ecke. Discussion?
JP, Sue, Eva Madison.
JP, Eva Madison?
I know that JP Deacons had made a motion to amend this in committee, and I was wondering if as a courtesy, he or JP Harbison could remind me of that amendment.
JP Deacons? Are you up?
Yes.
You remember it?
It was an amendment to put in the exact dollar figure of $4.5 million. Treasurer Hill had requested that amendment because he said by law he needs an exact dollar figure, and I believe before the amendment it was just it was more vague than that. I can't remember what the original language was, but that was the amendment.
Thank you, JP Deacons. Any other discussion? All right, public comments? Public comments? All right, Ms. Patty?
Ann Harbison,
Yes.
Butch Pond,
Yes.
Lance Johnson,
Yes.
Susan Cunningham,
Yes.
Derek Thomas,
Yes.
Judith Yanez,
No.
Patrick Deacons,
Yes.
Lisa Ecke,
Yes.
Sam Duncan,
Yes.
Chandra Washington,
Yes.
Eva Madison,
Yes.
Andrea Jenkins,
Yes.
Suki Hires,
Yes.
Sue Madison,
Yes.
Willie Lemming.
Yes.
This ordinance passes.
All right, thank you, Ms. Patty. That ordinance passed. That's item 19 that passes. Item 20. So will you read that one by title only?
An ordinance levying the county, municipal, and school district taxes for the year 2020.
JP Harbison.
I move that we pass, 2020. I move that we pass the, ordinance levying county municipal and school district taxes. As far as I know, it's 20 point.
At 3 readings because it's not an appropriation.
Okay, this is going to be a first read. If we don't get enough, then it'll go to the second reading in December, unless we suspend the
Move
rules.
to suspend the rules and bring it to a second reading.
Second.
We got a motion to suspend
Second.
the rules and move to second reading, and seconded by JP Harbison. JP
Point
Even
of order,
Madison.
Judge.
JP Even
This is an
Madison.
appropriation ordinance. It's an appropriation ordinance. It doesn't need to advance.
No.
Are we appropriating?
Yeah.
I know it says appropriation ordinance on it, but it's not an actual appropriation. You know, I would hate for us to get caught up on a small technicality.
Well, we suspend the rules and read it 3, then we'll get it and scan on both sides. Go ahead and read that a second time. Then
Take the vote.
Oh, we got to do the vote. Suspend the rules was seconded by, who was that? JP Harbison?
Oh, no, seconded. Yes, whatever.
So JP Pine made the motion to suspend the rules, seconded by JP Harbison. All in favor of suspending the rules, reading to a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Those opposed. Go ahead, Council, read for a second.
An ordinance levying the county, municipal, and school district taxes for the year 2020.
All right, JP Harbison?
I move that we suspend the rules and read, this on the third reading.
Second.
Got a motion to suspend the rules and read for third and final by JP Harbison, a second by JP Lemming. All in favor? Those opposed? All right, Council, read that for the third and final.
An ordinance levying the county, municipal, and school district taxes for the year 2020.
All right, JP Harbison.
I move to pass.
Second.
Have a motion to pass, a second by, a motion to pass by JP Harbison, a second by JP Pine. Any discussion? Any other discussion?
Right.
All right, public comments?
Judge,
Wait, somebody had a hand up in the courtroom.
Justice Deacon,
Patrick JP.
JP Deacons?
Sorry, I couldn't get my mouse working fast enough. Can somebody remind me or give me a ballpark figure? What's the, how much does a tenth of a meal raise for the general fund?
That'd be a Bobby Hill question.
Is he on?
Yep, Bobby's on.
Hey, Treasurer Hill, do you have off the top?
330,000 approximately annually.
What Butch said, 300 to 330, something like that.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion? Public comments? Public comments? All right, Ms. Patty.
Ann Harbison,
Yes.
Butch Pond,
Yes.
Lance Johnson,
Yes.
Susan Cunningham,
Yes.
Derek Thomas,
Yes.
Judith Yanez,
Yes.
Patrick Dickens,
No.
Lisa Ecke,
Yes.
Sam Duncan,
Yes.
Shonda Washington,
Yes.
Eva Madison,
Yes.
Andrea Jenkins,
Yes.
Suki Hires,
Yes.
Sue Madison,
Yes.
Willie Lemming.
It's all too high, but yes.
This ordinance passes.
All right, thank you, Ms. Patty. Item 20 passes. Item 21. Council, will you read that one by title only?
An ordinance recognizing additional revenue in the amount of $67,036.07 in the general fund in 2020 and appropriating said $67,036.07 from the general fund to various line items in the sheriff's budget for 2020.
JP Harbison.
All right, this is money that the sheriff's department's been paid to carry on different community functions, and that goes into general fund. It needs to be appropriated back into the sheriff's budget.
Second.
I move that we pass 21.1.
Second.
We have a motion to pass 21.1 by JP Harbison, a second by JP Ecke. Any discussion? Is there any discussion? Any public comments? Any public comments? All right, with that, Ms. Patty?
Ann Harbison,
Yes.
Butch Pond,
Yes.
Lance Johnson,
Yes.
Susan Cunningham,
Yes.
Derek Thomas,
Yes.
Judith Yanez,
Yes.
Patrick Dickens,
Yes.
Lisa Ecke,
Yes.
Sam Duncan,
Yes.
Shonda Washington,
Yes.
Eva Madison,
Yes.
Andrea Jenkins,
Yes.
Suki Hires,
Yes.
Sue Madison, Sue Madison,
Yes.
Willie Lemming.
Yes.
This ordinance passes.
Okay, item 21.1 passes. Thank you, Ms. Patty. Item 22, committee reports. JP Jenkins?
We met November 22nd. I had requested Johnson Control to please join us in attendance, and they did and gave us updates. I read emails from the road department, animal services giving us updates.
Thank you, JP Jenkins. Finance and Budget, JP Harbison.
All right, Finance and Budget Committee met Tuesday, October the 13th. We passed $130 a month for our employees. We had our reports of our employees' insurance. We had a very good report in that we do not have to raise their premiums any for this next year. We approved 5 ordinances and postponed 1. Elkins District Court gave a summary of some of their needs, and the Criminal Justice Coordinating Committee was discussed, and the Road Department. We didn't do anything on budget controls. We have 1 budget meeting left to approve the budget for 2021. I hope that we can do that in that 1 meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, JP Harbison. There was no jail meeting, no personnel meeting. With that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Got a motion to adjourn. Second?
Second.
And second, the County Quorum Court is now adjourned. Happy Thanksgiving, you guys.
You forget something, Bob?
That is James Bond.
That's the way he hears. I see.
James Bond.
Yeah. Sam, you leaving?
Things over, right?
It's been fun. It's been fun. Be careful.
I got a baby going to bed in 15 minutes if I can catch her.
You better get home. How old is she?
Just about a month.
Thank you.
She's little.
Yeah, she's not a week old.
She's little.
She's born right after or right before the election. Something like that.
Well,
Down, isn't it? It is. Una más.
see you later.
See ya. Bye.
Adios.
Oh, well, happy Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
Adios. No more to our usual, buddy. I'll try not to.
Chase that meeting.
What about it?
I missed ya.
Did you make it there?